What's up, guys? It's back with another episode of Fit
What's
Five
good? What's
Good.
good?
Good. So, Vito, how was your weekend, my
Good.
man?
It was good. It was good. I don't know. It was short, long. I can't even really. Time really flies by, bro. It feels like the weekend was just yesterday, type shit. But it was good. My weekend was good. My week was good. I trained yesterday. It was like it's like the third week of training this kid. You know, it's fun seeing him progress. That's being a teacher of a young kid who wants to improve himself and wants to get better.
Right.
It's really amazing seeing, but you gotta have patience because kids. It's so easy for kids to like get distracted and stuff and kind of keep them focused and locked into something. But it helps that he wants to do this. It really does. If they don't want to do it, they won't do it. Like my nephew, if you don't want to do something, bro, he's not doing it, bro. But yeah, it's good. It was good. There's some streaming too. You know how that goes. Right now, we've been streaming a lot of. I know you don't even play it, but Minecraft. Just
Oh, word.
we got our own little. It's called realms. We got our own little realms. We do like this dumb stuff and it's fun.
That do
Um,
sound-
huh?
I said that do sound fun.
It is. Yeah. Yeah. Um. Yeah. But apart from that, yeah. It's been good though. It's been good.
That's
How
what's
about how
up.
about you, man? How about you?
Oh, it's been cool, bro. It's been good. Like, I finally moved into the new spot.
Oh
And
yeah.
yeah, so the old people did end up keeping my rent the original price instead of charging me that crazy ass price. But they literally told me the last minute. Like, I had the moving truck. I already packed up everything.
It's either like one thing: A, they wanted to make sure they get at least something for you, or B, you got too many receipts now where you could take them to court,
I think
and
that's
you,
what it is.
like, you had too many receipts where you could take them to court, and like the
Yeah.
contradiction that you wouldn't have to pay anything, and they probably would have ended up having to pay you. Like,
Yes.
it could have been because like that's so sketch. That whole thing was so sketch.
And a lot of times they'll do that because a lot of people don't know the laws.
Yeah,
Like, or they get scared because it's a big corporation or whatever.
this
Or they'll be me. I just don't want to be bothered.
they saw a young 20-something-year-old, and it was like, yeah, we can take advantage of him.
Facts,
That's
but
some
yeah.
shit.
And I think corporate people they know exactly what words to look out for. They let you know that the people know what they're talking about. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, this is my this is my written this, or you stated in your last email this. I took the picture of this.
Man, starting a little too intellectual. We
Yeah,
can't pay him is crazy. That's gonna be hard for us to do.
yeah. So part of me was relieved, but another part of me felt like they was trying to play with me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yo, like you playing with me now. Like, oh damn, he really knew it. Oh, he really not about to pay. Damn it. All right, man.
We gotta do
Hey, so
something.
the guy just approved it. So yeah, you can just pay your regular rent. Like,
It's
oh,
not gonna cost you nothing. You know the original deal. We got you.
it's niggas, yeah. So the new spot, I love the new spot. It's a great location. It's saving $500 a month on it. Finally got
Wow.
everything moved in.
Wow.
Exactly. Finally got everything moved in and settled down, and yeah, just enjoying it, bro. So, but there was some bad news. There was some bad news because let's just say I paid for a service and I didn't get the result I wanted from that service. yo, yo, yo. So, so the thing he gave me, the result he gave me, I'm like, what the fuck, man? I could have done this and saved my money. Like,
Yo,
I,
yo.
it got to the point where I got past mad. Like I wasn't mad. I was genuinely confused. Like, wait,
Yeah.
like how did this happen?
Yeah. I could have told you. Yeah, I could have told you.
Like I could have saved my money and did this shit. Man.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
yeah. So
That's a big F.
yeah,
That's a big chance. It's
big
a big
hell,
F in
big,
chance. Yeah.
hell of a job, man. So that just taught me a lesson. Like hey, some things it's better to just do it yourself. If you
Yeah.
want your job done right, just do it yourself. But
Pay half now, pay them when they, you
that's
know, work out a payment plan where you're like, so they got a incentive to keep working hard.
That's what I should have done, man. I should have done. Like, hey, I'll pay you half up front, and then I'll pay you based on this criteria that is up to my standards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the only way.
And then I hit him. I was like, yo, what happened? And now he ain't responding and shit. I was like, bro, like at this point, I'm not mad. I'm genuinely concerned. Like, what the fuck happened?
Bro, he already got his money. What you mean? What happened? He's done. His job is done. That's what happened.
And the thing is, man,
Yo.
that made me upset is because when I was deciding on who could do the job, it was him. He was like a Pakistani person, and then it was just African lady. And I wanted to go with the African lady, just me being African, but then I was scared I was gonna get scammed
Mm-hmm.
because of past things. Like when I first moved to Phoenix, I got scammed by a Nigerian nigga. So when I heard the accent, I was like, but I ain't want to go against my people. I ain't want to stereotype my people.
Yeah,
So
but you
I
did.
went forward anyway.
You're not a monolith, you know.
When I saw that African lady this time, like, damn it, this shit happened to me again. But
Yeah,
nah, she was definitely way better qualified, man. I should have definitely went with her. So it's like,
that's that's
yeah, don't,
that's just a lesson in a
don't
terrible way.
stereotype your people, man. When
Listen, I mean,
most of them might be the same, but no.
no, no, no.
So yeah, that was my week, man. It was pretty interesting. Had a lot of ups, one major down. God damn. And yeah, people try to play with me, man.
What about? Listen, what you do for your birthday weekend, man?
Oh
You
yeah,
know, yeah, just a table. Huh?
bro, really, that was irrelevant. My birthdays, I really use my birthdays as a time to reflect.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like I try to do fun stuff either before my birthday or after my birthday, but like on my actual birthday, I really just try to create as much peace as possible, get some
Mm,
good food, be to myself a little bit, and really just think about life, how far it came, and some of the things I went through, and what I want to accomplish and change within myself for the next year. Because I count my years by my birthday. I don't do it by New Year's. Like
yeah.
like from one birthday to one birthday, that's a whole year for me after this New
Yeah.
Year stuff. So I
Okay.
really just analyzed myself from this year to last year. What some lessons I learned? How much did I improve? Did I stay stagnant? What do I need to change
Did you
up?
did you like take notes and stuff?
Yeah, yeah. So I see. It's funny because sometimes when you're just going through life, you don't realize how much progress you're actually making, and you feel more stagnant than you are. But when
Mm-hmm.
you take notes of what you accomplished, I accomplished a lot this year. I definitely grew a lot and changed a lot and matured. So it was pretty
That's
cool
good.
just to
Yeah.
forward and just be able to give myself more credit, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
crazy though. That's crazy.
yeah, but I do gotta start celebrating my birthday more though, because like I'm not really a big birthday person. To me, it's just
Me
another day.
neither. Me neither. If it wasn't like my mom is the really big birthday person, like if I wasn't home, I would like what I wanted to do for my birthday was just go to the beach and like just like what you did, what you said.
Yeah,
Made a whole video, but I'm like, yeah, I get it. I get it. It's like sometimes it's just, dang, I'm 1 year older.
yeah,
What have I done in the past year
it's really what
since
it is.
last time? And like, yeah, I get
Now
it.
approaching 30, even though 30 is
Oh,
still
please,
young, it's just
please,
an arbitrary number for real, but like I was like 4 years away from 30.
bro, I'm
Like
gonna be, yeah,
I'm
like that is
30, yeah. Like I'm trying to at least be somewhat stable. You feel me? Like
4 years away from 30.
have I'm trying to at least have a couple categories
4 years,
stable, established.
yeah,
We're 4 years away from 30, man.
2 years away from your high school reunion.
A 10-year high school reunion, that's crazy.
Remember when we had to do the like, what are you gonna be 10 years from now in high school?
Yeah.
Bro, I was so bad at those. What do you think it was gonna be
I
10 years
thought
from
I'm either gonna be in the NFL
now? Hmm.
or I'll be a millionaire by now on some entrepreneurship.
Yeah,
Because I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I never knew what, but I was thinking real estate at that time. I was actually thinking real estate at that time. So yeah, I either be a millionaire through real estate or through tech.
yeah,
And it's funny because I always said I wanted to be a millionaire before 25. And God showed me how you got to be real specific because I ain't say what currency. So when I
Yeah.
went to Sierra Leone, $100 over there is $100 is $1 million in Sierra Leone. And like when I took it out the ATM and I counted it, I just started dying. I said, "Yo, God, it's funny as hell. God, it's
I
funny
mean,
as hell."
it's like, yeah, I get it.
Technically, I
I
achieved my
get it.
goal, bro. Technically, I achieved my goal. The millionaire before 25, 23.
Yeah.
So technically, I achieved my goal, but damn it,
At
should have
what
been more
cost? Yeah.
specific. Should have
You
been more.
know? And it's not even like it can't happen too. It's just, like sometimes goals take longer to put into realization, you
Yeah,
know? It's just one of those things as kids, we don't really understand the value of money or how sometimes hard it is to make money when you haven't been making money like that. Like you don't come from a background of people who like been making all that money. It's you have to learn all this stuff yourself. You're
that's
on your
a
own
fact.
trying to learn all this stuff
That's a fact.
because what your parents had to do was they had to survive to provide for you. So they wasn't really thinking about, even if they were really just thinking about surviving and making sure their kids were well off and their kids were good. I'm gonna
Yeah.
fight this fly, bro. You see this? Bro, I opened my
I
window and the
thought
fly
you
came
were
through, bro.
I
Oh
thought
my
you
god.
were Twitch.
Nah, it's hot, so I got my window open and
Uh,
uh,
but yeah, bro. So let's jump right into it. And it says, did your parents have some influence on whether or not you continue to a higher level of education? Mm, that's a good one.
yeah.
So you can go first, bro.
All right. Did my parents have any influence in me getting a higher education? Of course. I mean, like, I think, like, we were just talking about how parents sacrifice for you, so it's just sometimes, yet a lot of the times they do have a say in it because every parent wants their kid to, like, get a higher education so they can have an avenue for better jobs and better opportunities out there. And my parents definitely had that influence on me because it was preached to me that to if I wanted a good job, I would have to go to college, go do something more, even more than college, or like even more than just a bachelor degree. Get my master's, get my
PhD.
PhD. Yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot the word. Wow. Yeah. So it's just like they had a huge influence on me, my mom, and seeing how much they like gave up, especially having like 5 kids and stuff. It was like I have to at least finish college, even when I was going through even when I stopped, because I stopped like going to college and stuff because of my depression. Like my depression got so bad, I couldn't handle it no more, and I took like a year or two off, and like they were still very supportive, and they understood why I stopped, and that's hard for an African parent to do, like to have a conversation and sit them down and tell them about my depression and what I'm going through, and they like consider and even offer the option of, do you want to go to therapy? Like, do you need a therapist?
Wow.
And because yeah, man, they saw how much it affected me, and like I never thought like a conversation like that me and my parents could ever have, and it was an eye opener for me. And one of my avenues that led to my healing, because I really did keep everything inside. No, I only talked to a few people, and I never wanted to burden them about everything I was going through mentally and stuff like that. Different generations, different mindsets is what I thought, and that was very, I guess, close-minded of me, because that's what your parents are there for you to
Right.
talk to them when things are bad and things are good and bad. So yeah, seeing how much they supported me and see how much love they gave me and stuff, and like it made me want to finish, like, because there was so much sacrifice given for my sake, and so much time too that I already spent in college. It was like I owe it to them and to myself to finish, to actually go through with it, and it was yeah, it was an eye opener. It
So
was a journey of going through it was a journey, still is a journey, but yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah.
let me ask you this though, bro. So I know what it was like for me when I had to come to grips with the fact that I'm gonna drop out. Can you talk to me about that process? What was that like for you? How you made that decision, and what you felt when you knew it was time to tell your parents? Because telling the African parents you about to drop out, man, that could be life or death. That could be life or death for
Well, yeah, the dropping out part was it was a relief for me because I was so stressed out. School, like I was so stressed out and I was not doing well. Like it was affecting me my grades and my school, so it felt like a relief to not have that pressure and that stress on me. Like, but telling my parents was so hard because it was like, you know, you could see how proud they were that I was in school and I was finishing and stuff. Immigrant parents like to be like, "Oh yeah, my son, he in school, you know."
talking.
So yeah, yeah, of course he does. He plays. He's a student athlete. So it was hard. It was hard. Because also they want to know my grades. I'm like 20 something years old, so they want to know my grades. They want to check
Yeah,
me.
what were some of the fears going into it though? Like, did you fear what they would think of you? Did you fear what they will say? Like, what were some of the fears going into getting ready to have that conversation?
It
And they,
was the fear of disappointment. It was like not even what they would say. It was just because at that point I knew how my parents react. They try to like come at things with an even hand,
right,
so we can open up to them about certain things that are going on with us.
right,
So it was just like the fear of disappointing them. It was more so, I guess, yeah, the questions too was like, why? What's wrong? And then, like I wasn't ready to tell them all that yet, you know. So it was just that. So I literally laid it off for like 2 months, 3 months after whatchamacallit. I had to no like 2 months because I had to tell them before the whatchamacallit. Because it was winter break, right? It was winter break, so it was like, oh, so when school start? When your grades coming in? When school starts? Yeah, it was the and I hate lying. I hate lying. So it's just like, so my me not lying is just me like just not answering. I just don't answer. I just don't.
you
Or I
just
change
made that point, or you try to change the subject, or what?
change the subject. Yeah, I changed the subject. Well, huh, you know how school is. Like, my mom knows me, bro, and she knows me, and she knows when something is up. So when she knows something else, she's gonna keep on you until you tell her. So it was
Right.
just one of those things where I had to finally come, you know, like yeah, certain things happen with the school and stuff. Like
Hey,
I feel
walk
like,
me through that, bro.
what do you mean, like the conversation?
Yeah, yeah,
It was like me, my mom, and my dad sitting down at the table. They had called me up because they finally was like, okay, Vito, what's going on? Like, we haven't seen your grades, we haven't seen, and I was just like, yeah, it was very nerve wracking. I was just like, yeah, I just haven't, I'm not going back. I'm not, I'm not going back. I just like not telling them full out I had depression, but just like mentally, I just don't feel like I'm in the right headspace to go back right now. Like my grades are bad. I just feel like I need to take a break before I go back to school. Yeah, and it was like a catalyst around a lot of things happening at the time. So it was like it was one of the many breakups I had. So it was like everything, school, relationship, everything was, and disappointing my parents. Everything was like weighing on my brain. And like opening up to them and like telling them that, and you know, and I have to tell kudos to my older sister because like when something's going wrong with us, she's one of the first people to go to. So and then when something also was going wrong with us, my mom would go to her because she's concerned. So she was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. And my sister, she would confide in her and stuff, and pretty much brace my mom. Just be like, listen, you have to try to understand where he's coming from his side. So like a bumper break for like when I actually am ready to come to them
Oh,
about
so
what's
she was
going
like
on.
the mediator.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and yeah, so it was very understanding, and I was like, it was a long conversation we had about like what I can be doing now that I'm not in school and stuff, and how long do I think I'm gonna be out. And it's just one of those questions of I don't know. I don't know. I just don't feel. It was like a year. It was just like a year, but it was a long year. It felt like a really long year
Right.
because like school is so much of your life, and
Yeah.
it was a long year. Yeah, man. And
Wow.
then yeah, it felt, it was, then it was just like a relief afterwards. After like getting all that out, it was like a huge relief of like I don't have to hide this thing I felt so ashamed about from my parents anymore. And
Man, I can imagine that. that weight, having to tiptoe, knowing that the break is approaching or the break is about to end. So it's like you tiptoeing and trying to avoid a conversation that you know you eventually gonna
Yeah.
need because they gonna think you gotta get out the crib.
Oh man, bro.
It's cool, bro. But like, how was it after you got that relief though? Like, how was it walking around the crib afterwards and the few days, week, or month after that? Like, was there anything you noticed change in them? Was
No,
it
there wasn't any noticeable change in them. Like my parents were very supportive in the fact, and I'm just gracious for that. Where they're just like, where they're like, they try to be very understanding, and they don't want to come down too hard on people like us. Especially, I feel like they knew somewhat what was going on with me mentally, so there was just like not trying to put too much pressure on me, and because it felt like for a lot of the time I had so much pressure on me, like. I had to do learn how to do sports, but like I wanted to impress them. I wanted to make them proud, so I did sports, bro, I had a 3.5 GPA in high school, and it was
so,
like it was literally one of those things where you go from high school to college, and it's such a different it's such a jump. Like people don't really. It's not even just the workload; it's the sports schedule and everything like that. And with along with the workload, it's so easy to get behind on things, especially when I'm not gonna lie, my parents were very much helicopter parents, where like in terms of things we could do, there were few. Go out with your friends, no. So it was just that, yeah. So it was like one of those first opportunities I had to like of actual freedom,
yeah,
and I took full advantage of that, and it was like at the detriment of my grades, and then at the detriment of my mental health, like so it
yeah.
was, yeah. I wasn't prepared for everything college had in store for me, and it was, yeah.
So what did you learn from just because parents they're an authoritative figure, so we think whenever they push this college so much on us, and then for us to drop out like that, and especially in the African household, we looking at ourselves as a failure, and then we got so many other things that's going on in our life. But for your parents to be so supportive and even offer therapy for you, is like, did that change how you look at them, or did that make you have different realizations about them or have a deeper appreciation for them? Like, what changed after you realized and you saw how much support they had for you?
What changed with my parents?
With you, like the
What's
way you
me?
look at your parents and the way you view the relationships after saying something so heavy like that and see the way they support you.
I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't really like pinpoint it or tell you exactly what changed. I mean, for me, it was like it was a lot of things. Because for me, it was I was coming to a lot of different realizations of all the amazing parents where I felt I was wrong a lot of the time, and felt, what's the word? Just yeah, just where I felt where I was wrong, and it was just a lot of different like mixed emotions going in my mind about how I see or look at my parents. So and it was really just I told them it was it, and like then I was back to trying to deal with everything I was going with my mentals. Like so, anything never really changed
Right.
for me, but for them, I guess they were more like attentive, more worried about like me and checking up on me more often than not. Trying to make sure I was good, I was okay, and stuff like that. Meanwhile, I was just trying to deal with everything and like my perception of myself, perception of relationships, and perception of school. It was really all that really changed for me was trying to pretend like I'm okay when I'm not okay, and they could tell. So it was awkward at times. Some days I was good, some days I was not. It would just really depend on the day, on like whether or not how our interactions went.
So now you can go on and getting your master's. So what went into you choosing to do that?
I don't know. Just wanted to finish school. I really wasn't ready to talk about that. So, like, just in general, it's just, it's just what it is for that one. Yeah, because yeah,
Yeah. All right, cool, bro. Cool. But yeah, man, it's definitely dope how your parents gave you that support, and that's definitely unexpected, honestly. Just Everything you're going through, and everything seems so scary. You're making so many big decisions and hard, uncomfortable actions you have to take. So to know that it went that smooth and they
Yeah.
truly supported you like that, that's what's up. You got
Yes.
it. You
Bro, I'm
got
sorry. No, I didn't, bro. Go ahead.
it.
Sorry. Sorry.
So
Go ahead.
if y'all missed it and there's a fly in Vito's room, keep fucking with
Go
us.
ahead. What did you say? Sorry.
No, I'm just saying it's dope out. With everything you was going through and as scary as it seemed, your parents was there for you to comfort you and truly give you the support and the nurturing. Because of course, when you making all those hard decisions, what am I trying? When you're making those hard decisions, of course, it may change the way you look at yourself because you're going
Mm,
against the status quo, the people in society. If you don't go to college, you're looked at as less than, and if you drop out of college, you're looked at even worse than people that didn't go to college in the first place. So to just go with your mental health struggles, and then now you're adding on to the societal standards too on top, the American societal standards on top of the Liberian societal standard.
yeah. Yeah.
So it's extra heavy, but for your parents to just be able to come and just take that weight off you and give you that nurturing, man, that's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was one of those things where too, bro, it's hard because like in the eyes of your parents, especially your African parents, you're still a kid. No matter how old you are, you're still a
Oh,
kid to them. It doesn't matter. So it's yeah. It was a weird time where I'm like, I feel like a grown up. I feel like I'm running up where like I'm just one part of me was like, okay, it really doesn't. And one part of me was honestly, it really doesn't matter what they say. It's something that happened, and I've already made the decision. So it's just at this point, I already confided with myself, like it is what it is.
yeah.
Regardless of their reaction, I was yeah. It was just a very weird place in time for me where I cared and I didn't care at the same time.
That's what's up, bro. I'm happy that I was able to be there for you, man. But we're going to jump to me. And man, my relationship with school have always been interesting. Because I hated school. I always hated school. I'm just keep it funky. I always hated school. School. And part of the big reason why I hated school was because I feel like my parents was too hard on me with school to a point where they literally told me they don't care about the other interests in school. And I was like, all right, man. The things I like, you say you don't care about, and it's just at school, school, school. It's like I love learning, but at the same time, I felt I had a gripe with the education system at a young age. I would always question stuff. Yo, why are we taking these tests? Why do these tests keep changing year after year? It was sponsored by this company. Now is you remember? I don't think you remember the like elementary school to like maybe seventh grade year. It's like all the state test had hella different names. It just kept changing.
Yeah,
So I dared the question. I was like, "Yo, why is that?" I was like, "These companies just." So yeah, I had a big thing against the school systems in general, and I feel like my parents was too hard on me as far as grades and whatnot. Because there was a point where I was getting out. Yeah, it seemed like it just wasn't enough if it wasn't straight A's. And I felt like if I'm working my ass off getting these grades and you pretty much just shitting on it saying it's not enough,
yeah,
it was like, all right then, well fuck this. So it's like you're not the one yeah, you're not the ones taking these tests, you're not the ones going through this, and just how homework in general, doing homework was real toxic, hella yelling, hella beatings and stuff. And it got to a point where I told my mom, I was like, hey, I just started, yeah, man. It got to a point where I told my mom, like, hey, I'd rather, because I was just doing homework by myself, not even showing them. And like, I think middle school, I was like, yeah, man, I'd rather fail than to have y'all help me with homework. I'm cool. So after going through that and seeing how the parents were too strict with school and how I just genuinely didn't like the education system in general at a young age. And I don't know, like, what a little kid be thinking like that. Like, it just didn't make sense to me.
yeah,
So it wasn't until freshman year at high school where I had like a nervous breakdown. Because in elementary school and middle school, I realized you can bullshit the whole year, but as long as you do good at the end of the year testing, as long as you do good like that last semester, you're gonna pass. So, so I was cool. That was my mentality. It's cool freshman year, but nobody told me about cumulative GPA, so I didn't know what that was. So I was like, okay, like my yeah, my grades were struggling. Damn, bro. I hope you get that, John. He missed. You missed, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
But
It's
yeah, bro. So back to the story, my man.
yeah, yeah. The
Hold
cumulative,
on,
yeah,
story before
cumulative.
you miss. So yeah, so I didn't know about the cumulative GPA. So my grades, the rest of the school year was trash. But then right around the last two semesters, that's when it was good. So I'm thinking cool, but then I see cumulative GPA and it was stupid low. Like
He's
I,
like, what's going on here?
I think that was like barely 2.0, probably less. Like
Oh,
stupid low.
like 1.9, like.
Yeah, something like that, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So stupid low.
Mm-hmm.
Just for me not doing the work, like, yo, this shit's stupid, man. I ain't about to stress myself. I just gotta do good at the end of the year. I ain't come and stress myself. So once they told me that, I was like, yeah, your freshman year, that determines most whether or not you can get into college and all this.
Yeah.
That determines how your rest of your high school career is gonna be. This, that, and third. So I'm thinking now I just fucked my life up because they're making it seem like a big deal. I was like, damn, so this crazy. I probably won't be able to go to college. Damn, if I don't go to college, what I'm gonna do? And then I look at how society is, and people are like, yo, people go to work and go to jobs they don't like, they suffer, they come home miserable and whatnot. I was like, it gotta be more to life than just this, man. Just working at a place you don't like every day, and then until you're 60, and then you have like 20 years to enjoy your life if
Not
lucky.
even that, bro. Some
Yeah,
people.
not even. Some people, so I was like, yo, there got to be more than life to this. So then I had a nervous breakdown. And I feel like the schools I went to affected how I looked at school too. I know this is a long story, but the schools I went to affected how I looked at school
No, that's
too,
fine.
because I went to three different high schools in 4 years. The
Yeah.
first high school I went to, that joint shut down. The teacher stole the money. So, bro, like it shut down. Like we
Oh,
was
is that fan catered?
yeah, Pencated. It was Pencated, bro. It was Pencated.
Oh my god! I'm like, why did it make him go there, bro? Why did it? Yeah.
Right. Because yes, that's another thing that added to why I didn't like school. I don't like the fact that my whole life was in someone else's hands. And
Yeah.
that didn't sit right with me. Because I wanted to go to a Votech school and I wanted to learn a trade. And my mom, she talking about because at that time Votech schools was new in Delaware. I think we were the second.
At least St. George's was new.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Voltech schools was like, I know my sister went to Voltech school, and that was like 2009,
Okay.
2010.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it was fairly new. It was fairly new. So not that many parents actually knew what the hell Votech was. So to them, it looked at, oh, if your
Especially
kids,
African parents.
yeah, to them, they see if your kids don't want to go to college, this is where they go. And to African
Which
parents,
is honest, nothing wrong with that because
man,
Voltech schools prepare you for the future. They put technical skills in your hand where you can go straight into the job market and make money straight out of high school.
entrepreneur straight out of high school because you
Like,
got skills. But yeah, so it wasn't much info about what Votech schools actually were. So it's looked at as if your kids don't want to go to college, you send them there.
yeah,
I guess African parents think about it. If your kid's not smart enough to go to college, you send them there because there always got to be some kind of twist to
of course.
it. So I wanted to go to St. George's, but she said no. She said no Voltech schools, and I didn't want to go to Christiana. That's my feeder school because that school
Hmm.
was trash. So I was like, okay, I found this school, Pencader. No, she found a school, and it was a business and finance school. So it was very business focused. Teach you about entrepreneurship, teach you how to actually be in the business field and whatnot. So I was like, okay, cool. If I can't go where I wanted, let's go there.
Yeah.
And then it got shut down. Yo, that school was wow. It got shut down. There was riots. The news helicopter came. We bro. We had protests. We shut
Bro,
the school down for like a whole day, man. We just roaming the hall, protesting, all that for like a whole day. And so found out the principal faked her doctorate degree, and then she,
yo,
yeah, then she stole the
yo,
school.
what? Yo, this is wild. What?
Think it was wild. Think it was wild. So the principal faked her doctorate degree, and then she stole the school money and dipped. So I guess because of funding now, since she stole the fucking money, and because this and because of sanctions, the school had to shut down. We shut down in like the end of March. No. We shut
Bro,
down the end of April because I remember my birthday was during lacrosse season. So yeah, we shut down towards the end of April.
this needed to be on the news more. Like,
Yes,
what is that, bro? Sounds
exactly,
like a bunch of place where rich people was just funneling money through.
exactly. So yeah, so that shut down. But I think we went on vacation. And when we went on vacation, we missed the deadline to select what school you want to transfer to. So by default, you just stuck going to your feeder school.
Yeah,
And Christiana wasn't that bad. I ain't gonna hold you. Christiana wasn't that bad, but yeah, some of the students, man, it's like it was just wasn't super conducive to learning, bro. I ain't gonna hold you, cause like I don't want to stereotype, but yeah, some of the students, man, some of the students.
no, literally,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. Some of these students, man, it's like, all right, if you want to fuck up, cool. I'm all for it. Fuck school. But
a
like,
lot of child dummies.
yeah. Like I'm all for it, man. Fuck school. But in these classes, like, hey, like you fucked up in like economics. I actually cared about that because you can use that in life. Like the classes I knew I could use in life, I cared about it, and like I couldn't learn. It wasn't conducive to learning. So I was pretty much depressed there. Like I ain't had no friends that wasn't from Kirk or wasn't living in the neighborhood, man. I ain't trying to make no new friends. I'm just trying to
You
get out.
don't know these people. You don't know their background.
Exactly. All the sports teams suck. So man, I went from a good team to trash team. So now I'm just depressed, man. We losing all the damn time.
We used to be beating Christiana like 12-0,
Everybody did. Everybody.
9-0.
Everybody
It's
did.
free stat day on every day we play them, bro. It's
Whole
free.
school used to be Christiana, man. I used to show up to the games like, how much we gonna lose by? Like, my thing is,
Were the home games packed? Were the
yeah,
home games?
no. Some people go there just to watch the other teams, man. We was trash, bro. So like, yeah, so I'm depressed because the thing I like most
Hey,
sports, and we're trash at that. But so after a year, Christiana, then I ended up going to Newark, and I ended up really liking Newark. But again, I'm just is my parents just pushing me school. I don't give a damn about the sports. I don't give a damn about what you're interested in. That's bullshit. School. So I
yeah,
was tired of it. So I intentionally did bad. Like I had honor roll. I had honor roll one semester again. I was like, yo, man, y'all on me about these grades. I brought this up, nothing. So I was like, okay, so fuck this for real. I was like, all right, man, I just need to do good enough to play these sports. And I was thinking about joining the Marines. I just need to graduate so I can join the Marines. Fuck the GPA. I just need to do good enough
yeah.
to get out of here. So when it was come time for me to graduate and figure out what I wanted to do, I had a scholarship opportunity, and my dad was trying to talk me out of going to college. He was like, yo, man, school ain't for you, man. Pick a trade, go to the military or something. But I was like, yo, I'm smart. And if I'm going to school for this particular reason, that's enough to keep me in. So
That
uh,
seems like a lot of projection, man.
it was. I found out why now, just because he ain't do the thing he wanted to. So it's like it was in a way. I see where he was coming from because he's not seeing it from my mindset where I don't like the education system. I think it's flawed. I think this whole shit's just a fucking joke. All he's seeing is this nigga be failing the fuck out of his classes. I ain't about to waste my money sending this dude to college. So I see where he's coming from. But then once I actually got to college, I decided to, this is an opportunity a lot of people pray for. This is an opportunity a lot of people wish for. And I got this opportunity. I got to see it out. So going to college, I realized I was still depressed because I was beefing with my parents, and my mom ended up not even going to my high school graduation because of a whole thing. Yeah, like whole thing, man. Police got called on me the night before graduation, all that whole thing, man. Whole thing. So I got mad at her, told her not to come. So yeah, my brother, my sister ain't go to my high school graduation. It was my dad and some of my uncles. And so I'm in
Jesus.
college now. I'm still depressed because I'm still beefing with them. And I just couldn't focus, man. I started drinking more, started partying more. I'm trying to enjoy that freedom too. But yeah, I'm finally free now from the helicopter parents. But at the same time, I'm going through mental health struggles. And I didn't even know what they were at the time. I didn't know what depression was. I didn't know what anxiety was. So once I got that, it was time to drop out. So I called my mom. I told her, I was like, yeah, man, I'm not feeling this. I'm depressed, this and that. She like, oh, you'll be all right. Just push through. It's like, damn, like nothing. Like she changed a lot now, but back then you wasn't really talking about depression in our society, at least in the African community. You wasn't really talking about depression or none of that. So I told her I want to drop out. She was like, no. Like, what you mean, no? So yeah, at least finish because that was halfway through the semester. It was like, no, at least finish the semester first. So I wanted to leave and just drop out immediately, but I'm in West Virginia. So she said, yeah, I'm not coming for you until after the semester. I was like, oh. So I had to stay.
You're not gonna let me give
I
you
was like, I gotta finish this semester.
bro. I would have took my
Yo,
for a bus.
no, I'm student. I'm broke, bro. I can't work.
That's right. That's right.
I'm stuck there, so I got to see it through.
That's the
So
safe, bro.
flash forward, flash forward a couple years now. I'm in Detroit. I'm going through it again, but I just had this calling, like, oh, something about school just kept calling me. Like, I don't know if it was just me not sitting right with not finishing things, starting things
Mhm.
and not finishing. So I was like, okay, man, I'm see this through. They always on my ass. It's like I figure out kind of what I wanted to do in life. That's when I knew I did want to become a therapist. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to school for something else and then get my master's in therapy. And that's when I started going to school. And my first semester wasn't bad. I had a great professors. Professor personally invited me to a men's group. He saw that I was struggling with depression, some other things. He was helping me out. And I had great professors, great classes. I actually liked the classes I was taking. So that gave me confidence that, okay, man, school ain't all bad. Maybe I was just depressed at the time when I first tried to go to school, but now I can actually focus. Fast forward, I moved from Detroit to Delaware, and I moved from Detroit to Delaware, and I'm just working for a while, just going through it because I had a crisis. So I'm
Mm.
going through it. So I moved from Detroit to Delaware, and now I'm working. I just had that urge again, like yo, school, finish that jump. So I went to Del Tech, the community college over there. I was taking courses, and they hit me like, yo, this shit for the birds, bro. What? This shit way worse than I remember. Yo, what the fuck am I doing this job, man? I hated it. I hated every moment of it. I was like, yo, this school stuff for the birds, man. I was stressing. So I dropped out. And this the third time. But
Mhm.
I feel like school just kept calling me, man. I feel like whatever I'm meant to do is attached to school. I can't do it without school. I don't know exactly what it is yet, but maybe it is therapy and getting this master's, but I got to go and finish school. So then I end up seeing this one school, the school I'm at now, University of Advanced Technology. I saw the ad pop up, and I never heard of it before. I thought it was a scam, one of those scam schools. But it kept popping up and popping up and popping up. So I finally
Like,
reached out.
so
Yeah,
like, you know what it reminds me of? The Rye commercial.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
not doing nothing. You're sitting on the couch.
No, no, that's ICDC.
The Rye
Man,
commercial.
you ain't doing shit with your life, huh?
On the phone.
On the couch.
Plus,
Hey, you watching? Like, man, you over there smoking a blunt? Huh? Just
you
stay.
lazy bum.
Get
You
your.
got two baby mamas.
Ain't you tired of being broke, nigga?
Like the mother.
Oh yeah, yeah. I thought it was one of those type schools for real, for real.
Yo.
But I kept seeing it. It kept popping up, and it kept popping up and popping up. So I was, all right, man. Let me just apply. I
Yeah.
applied. They gave me a scholarship too. So, and I saw the programs, it was real cool. And I just knew that whatever I'm supposed to do in the future, it's attached to school. I may
Hmm.
not know it all the way now, but I know it's attached to school. So I got to finish this. And once I got in, I started finding a passion for therapy more and more and start seeing how valuable school actually was and how valuable school was, particularly for marketing. I mean, for networking, talking to peers, talking to professors. So I still slowly learned to embrace school and find the value in school. I'm still can't wait till I'm done with this shit. But I see why I got to go through it.
That's a
But,
good one. Yeah.
yeah, but long story short, my parents at first made me not want to F with school at all, maybe rebel, maybe completely against the school system in general. And then I found something that piqued my interest to go to school in the first place, which was sports. While I was there, sports wasn't enough. I realized I actually don't like this as much as I thought I liked it. And I
Hmm.
really just wanted to play sports just to, one, prove to myself that I'm good enough to do it. And two, be able to say that I play college sports. But that still wasn't worth it. So I realized the passion I had and my why wasn't strong enough to keep me. And with all the mental health stuff I was dealing with, maybe drop out. And then I went there again, something because that calling, something I feel like whatever you're called to do, no matter how much you try to run from it,
Yeah.
you only run so far. Either you're gonna end up doing it eventually, or you're just gonna waste your life because you're
Yeah.
gonna suffer until you get on that path of whatever you're called to do.
Yeah.
So,
Um. Did you ever like from when you were a young kid, a teenager to now, and you've going back to school and stuff? How has the support been different for you? How has the support changed?
well, for one, my mom ain't as tough on me. Like she'll
Mhm.
motivate me, but I feel like she's smart, man. She know like how rebellious I am. I was like, so if she be too hard, man, I'll drop the fuck out right now just to prove a point. I was like, you
Yeah,
try me, man. I'll drop it right now.
yeah,
I'm gonna walk out and never step foot in this bitch again. I feel like my mom finally realized who I am because she really didn't know me growing up because I lived a whole different life outside the crib than the one I did inside the crib.
yeah.
So once she finally started knowing who I am and what some of my triggers are, so she been more supportive and less authoritative.
Hmm.
Like, hey, you should finish school and it'd be good for you. I know it's tough. Instead of just finish school, man. What are you doing? Why you want to waste your life? Finish school.
Yeah. So she's been more, very more offhand,
Yes,
like
yes. She'd be
more,
more compassionate
yeah,
and
yeah.
understanding. I guess that's the best way to put it.
And I get that and understand that because so tell us about remember when you had to when you was trying to make the decision on whether or not on what you should do in terms of after you finish this year, whether you should do more college or you should pursue your business. Like, what
Uh,
was that like? How was that for you?
yeah,
And
man.
talking to your mom about that.
I was going through it, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, yeah, I'm about to graduate next year, but I wanted to drop out. I think it was my girl that convinced me not to drop out because I told myself, like, yo, I dropped out twice. If I drop out one more time, that's it. I'm done with school.
Yeah.
Like, I just got to figure it out for business wise. But yeah, man, a lot of stuff happened when I moved out here, man. I lost the crib. Roommate stole bread from me after she got us evicted. So I'm scrambling to find a place. I lost jobs. Basically homeless. So a lot of stuff happened for me that made it hard to focus on school. But at the same time, it's like school was all I had. School and the business was all I have, man. Thanks to chaotic at the place I live, I just go to school, and it was like a 2 hour journey just to get to school. So it was like, I just go to school, be in school all day. But me just struggling, wanting to drop out, it just didn't sit right with me because I truly just knew something about what I'm supposed to do is attached to school. So once I got here, I changed majors a few times, and it wasn't until like hypnosis where it really solidified that I love helping people. I love the therapy aspects and conducting therapy sessions.
That's
This,
so weird because it's such an offshoot of what like uh collegiate atmosphere is. Like it's such an offshoot like hypnotherapy. So for that to be the catalyst for you to be like, I want to help people, and
yeah,
school is the best avenue for me to be able to do that. And plus,
facts.
I found this love for hypnotherapy and helping people. It's just you found
And
your passion and you can pursue it
yes.
through school. You know.
That's why I tell people, yo, follow whatever seems interesting to you because I didn't know what I wanted to do in life. I just knew I like helping people. I like business.
Mm,
So I had a lot of opportunities come to me, like the radio station, all that stuff that just seemed fun, stuff that I already had an interest in. I like music. So, okay, I get to play music at the radio station, have a host. This is very random, but it seemed interesting. For some reason, I feel called to it. Follow it. Follow whatever interests you because it
yeah.
interests you for a reason. Explore it and see why it interests you. And you might put you on a path that you never knew you was going to walk. Because I randomly found hypnosis, man. I tell people all the time, like, hey, I'll be up. I was high, just scrolling through Groupon, man, bored in my room.
Yeah.
And then I saw a session for hypnosis. Like, yeah, hypnosis class. Like, what? So I looked it up on YouTube. I looked up people doing tricks and funny stuff. But then I saw the therapeutic side of it. So I decided to learn it. And through doing that, through honing my skills, through actually getting real certifications and training, it made me realize how much I love helping people. And that made me want to be a therapist because I felt like I had to be, what you call it? I had to be a master's level, at least therapist, to be taken serious with it.
Yeah.
So I know, okay, for me to become a therapist, I need at least a master's degree. So it's like, okay, I found my passion, I found my why. This is one thing I have to do in order to become a therapist. There's no way around it. And my thing with school was I feel like you don't need school. You shouldn't go to school unless it's something you absolutely need to achieve your goals. Like school is great to help you network and whatnot. That's really the best thing school is for, networking. But if you don't need it, there's other ways for you to network. There's other ways for you to learn skills and whatnot. I'm not saying don't go, but I'm saying you shouldn't think that's your only option or that's a
Yeah.
must.
Like if you're doing something in construction and you learn, like if you went to a VOTEC school and you're doing something in construction, or you go to a VOTEC college and you learn something in that field,
Right,
and you want to upgrade yourself, and you get so good at your job and you're in your job, like so many people go back to school in their 30s and their 40s because
right,
they want that higher paying wage because they have so much experience now. That's what school doesn't give you. It doesn't give you experience. That's 4 years of experience you're not gonna have coming into the job market. So
right.
if you're going to school and you're going back to school, it's like you're going back with skills you already know you have to get this degree that's gonna propel you to where you know you should be. You know,
That's
that's
it.
really one of the only good things about school there is, because you shouldn't just go into debt without knowing what you want to do with your life. You know,
Exactly.
and I wish a
And
lot of like high schools preach that. Like,
yes. And it's funny because in America, I mean, outside of America, like in other European countries like England or whatnot, it's normal for kids to take a gap year after high school to go travel, work, whatever, just try to figure out what you actually want before going into college.
yeah, and we look down on it here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, so once I realized what my passion was and my why, it's like, okay, I really want to become a therapist. Okay, you want to become a therapist. What is something you have to do to become a therapist? And school
Yeah,
is part of it. So school is worth it for me. And that's what keep me going. Like if it wasn't for that, if I just wanted to do some business stuff, man, I would have been dropped out.
yeah, cause yeah, yeah.
For real, I would have been dropped
You
out.
really you need a good mentor, like, and business mentors. There's a lot of people out there that want to mentor. Watch out for the scammers,
Right.
obviously. Watch out for the scammers, but there's a lot of people within business that want to have mentees and
Yes.
within your avenues or field or whatever you're interested in that that are looking to propel and help young men and women out there in the corporate world or in any type of world where they can succeed or find a pathway just like they did,
Yeah.
because a lot of those people are coming from the same avenue as you.
And I ain't gonna lie, bro, guilt played a big part of it too, because part of why I even wanted a sports scholarship was since parents are pushing school so much, I did see how much they did for me, and I just wanted to ease the burden. Like I would do stuff even in high school, like man, not eat lunch and stuff just because I don't want to ask them for lunch money.
I feel that. Okay, yeah,
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 they'll give me like they'll always give it to me, and like it was never a problem. I felt like I was burdening them. I was like, you already do a lot. It's like you got two other kids, man. Take care of them. And playing sports, I had some old cleats, and they wanted to buy me some new stuff. And I was like, nah, man, these. I mean, I can still make do with these. So it's like, yeah, I didn't want to burden my parents. Want to ease some of the burdens because I did appreciate everything they did for me.
yeah. Of
So
course, of course.
yeah, so and me be from both really both my parents at that time, but me telling my mom not to come to my graduation, I did end up feeling bad. So it was like, okay, I'm gonna if she didn't come to the high school one, I at least make sure she can come to the college one. So a lot of time, one of the biggest reasons at first is like, all right, man, I'm gonna get this degree just to shut them up. Like, hey man, here's your fucking piece of paper. I'm gonna go do my business shit. like I want to do business. Well, it was the whole time it was just business, business, business. It's like I don't need a degree for this shit, but I'm gonna go just so she can at least get that experience to see me graduate something, you know.
Yeah. Mhm.
So yeah, guilt did have a lot to do with it too.
Oh man, sure love that too, man. You know,
Yeah,
a lot of people. I mean, a lot of us do it for our parents. A lot of us want to see and show our parents like everything you sacrificed was worth it. You know,
right,
for them, a lot of the times it is that degree. You know, obviously their hope is the degree will lead to a better job. You know what I mean? But it is that degree. Like
yeah,
it's like a huge weight off their shoulders
right,
because you got the degree. It's not really yours. It's theirs. It's
yeah,
not really.
for sure.
Yeah, man. It's a good thing. It's a good
Yeah,
thing.
that's again, that's not strong enough. Why?
It's
Because
not.
yeah, because if you just want to do it for your parents, school is hard, man. School is hard. It's like it's not even how hard the work is. It's just all the things you're trying to juggle on top of school, trying to figure out who you are. You're going through different mental struggles. You're doing that. So to stay focused and stay pushing with the school that will push you to your limits. If your why is just I'm doing this for my parents, it's either you're gonna drop out or you're gonna graduate, but you're gonna end up having some resentment towards them. Because in your head, they're the reason you're suffering and going through all this suffering in the first place. So it's like you really gotta find a good why to push through school.
Yeah, it was like trying to be the good student for my parents and stuff because my older sister had a hard time at college and my older brother didn't go to college. So it was like, and I'm the middle child, so it was a lot of that child syndrome,
Yeah,
trying to want that attention and like do well and stuff like that to not also burden them because you feel like if you don't do well you're burdening them still because
right.
you're seeing what your older siblings are going through. It's a very yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and it's not until I figured out what I wanted to do with my great degree that helped me finish school. Like until like literally it felt like I was just going through the motion.
facts. Facts, and that's dangerous, man. That's
Yeah,
dangerous, 'cause especially if you already don't like school. Like,
no
yeah, I'm gonna get this
motivation.
undergrad, I'm gonna get this master's, but I really don't like this shit.
Yeah.
Like, I really wish I ain't have to do this shit. Trust me, if there was another way, I for sure wouldn't be here, bro.
I'm
Oh,
saying?
God, I wouldn't be here, bro. But yes, so you gotta have that good enough why, man. You
So
gotta.
close. Yeah, I was so close. It was in my. I just did it. They call me master. What's the karate kid? What's the karate kid? I was look, look. Okay, okay. It's a
Oh yeah,
little. Can't even see it. It's right there. It's right there. That little
oh, yeah. I see it.
black thing. Look at that. Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. All right, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. I was excited.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. That's as far as it, unless you got some more questions.
No, I did. I honestly I forgot my question. I forgot my question. It was just like I didn't want to interrupt you during your monologue, and it was really insightful and good. So I was like, and then just I'm like I'm gonna ask him after he finishes, and then just how it be. Wait, let me think. Maybe I can recall it. It was something to do with, bro. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, man, school is a journey, and
Yeah,
with any journey, you gotta have a really good why for you to reach the end of that journey and
yeah,
to actually accomplish that goal because it's gonna be a lot of trials and tribulations, a lot of struggles. And if your why is you're just doing this for your parents, or you're just doing this for bragging reasons, or you're just doing this for yeah, if your why isn't good enough, you're just gonna drive yourself crazy and you're either gonna drop out or you're gonna graduate with some resentment. And parents being too hard on their kids. Like I get you want to push them to actually accomplish something and be great, but just know that school ain't for everybody. Or at least not college isn't for everybody. Some of them might want to go to a voc school and then just go into the workforce after high school. Some of them might want to go to a technical school after high school. But I feel like we should allow the kids to be able to explore that and truly explore their interests instead of just pushing something on them. I feel like
yeah,
there's a line between motivating and dictating their life, you
yeah.
know?
Yeah, it's always that trope of like parents know best and they want best, and that's why
Right,
a lot of kids go into being doctors and nurses, and a lot of doctors and nurses are kind of burnt out too. Like you
right.
see that a lot. So it's so easy to get burnt out when it's not your motivation, it's not your passion, and it's just yeah. Honestly, no, I should say it's easy to get burnt out in anything. In
Yeah,
anything you do, even if you're passionate about it, it's
yeah.
so easy to get burnt out because you can put so much energy into something and not see the results and not see the returns you feel like you should be seeing, and crash out and just burn out. And it's so easy. So I take that back. I take that back. But definitely, definitely, parents, be a motivator for your kids. You know, be a motivator for your kids and not a dictator for where they should what they should do with their life. Because you're gonna raise a rebellious kid. You're gonna raise a kid who is so confused with what they want to do, and a kid who doesn't feel comfortable coming to you to discuss that because you're just gonna tell them one thing, and they've heard it before. So it's yeah,
Let them actually choose their own path. Like I feel like as parents, we're here to just guide the kids, but we try to instead of just being there to be a guidance, we try to mold them into little perfect images that we want them to be. So now, when they want to do something that's outside of what we imagine for them, we have a problem with them. We try to talk them out of it or push them towards a whole different
yeah.
path, and you're gonna create a miserable human.
And some parents just shouldn't be parents. I'll just say that. And like
That's
sometimes, yeah, for everything we went through, like some parents are just I just hate some people, bro. Like I've just
yeah,
some like when your kid is going to school and then you're not only are you not motivating them, you're the main stressor for why they're having a hard time,
yeah.
or just the main stressor of why their mentals is so messed up
We've seen that a
while
lot.
they're in school. Yeah, like yeah, just like not even mentally manipulative, narcissistic parents, abusive parents like you. Yeah, man. Yeah. So some people need hugs, man.
I feel like
'Cause-
some people really shouldn't be parents though, because I've seen parents say they don't like their kids. See
like
they
what do you mean, bro?
say they don't like their kids, and two, like this might be a conversation for something for another time. But yeah, I truly think like the reason there's so many parents who shouldn't be parents is because there's so many accidents.
And then they put all their regret on the kid like it's the kid's fault. Yeah.
Like
That you
you
didn't use protection.
exactly.
That like
You were slipping up. You fucked up your life. So now you putting all this blame on the kid. Now you got all this resentment towards the kid. Now you putting all this
who
stress
didn't
on
even who had no choice in being in the world in the first place.
exactly. And now you're gonna make them feel like they're lucky for being here. I heard people talking about, yeah, man, I could have aborted you, I could have sent you up for adoption, but I decided to be a good mother, a good father, and keep you.
Yeah.
But are they really lucky?
Or when they use the excuse, you should do this for me because I did this for you. It's like you're my parent. What do you mean like shit? You're my parent. Like I didn't force you to do any of that.
Exactly.
It was actually legally you had to. If you
Yeah.
didn't want to get in trouble with the law, you had to.
Don't
Like
get
you acting like I forced your hand or something.
don't get me
It's
wrong. We appreciate the work.
of course, but it's just
But
unappreciative parents, and
hey, bro,
yeah,
it's wrong. I feel like that's part of abuse for real.
hold your childhood against you to dictate your adulthood, which is, yeah, I've seen a lot of people where it's just like they're being manipulated by their parents into adulthood to
Right.
do even everything they do for their parent. It's not enough,
Exactly.
like it's always more what they could, and it's yeah,
Just feel
yeah,
bad for them. Feel
yeah.
bad for them. But yeah, man. So certain parents just shouldn't be parents. That's first thing first. Like you should be really careful about what you do in the bedroom if you don't want kids. And I feel like
None
you
of that leg over the top like this count.
should. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You gotta switch up your positions, man.
No more
If you
baby
look,
maker moves.
if you
Listen,
look just quick, man, change it up. You know what I mean? You can't be doing
yo,
all that free shit if you know you don't got too long.
yeah, listen. Uh,
Hey, maybe you shouldn't. Maybe y'all shouldn't make love when you're drunk or high, man.
yo,
Your timing and your judgment is off.
that's
Maybe that's what it is, man. Everybody's been,
true. Amen. Amen.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
yeah, but
yeah.
yeah, but I like this conversation, man. It's yeah, good thing to talk about college and stuff like that because maybe a lot of young people are going through it right now, and especially in a time where like everything is getting so expensive. College is looking as one of those cost cost benefit analysis. What is it called? You know what I'm talking about? Is it
Yeah,
cost benefit analysis? It's called something
yeah,
analysis.
yeah.
But
Some,
yeah, it cost benefit. I think it's cost benefit analysis. But yes, and like how much it's pretty much like owning a home, going into debt for college and stuff like that. Like it's yeah,
yeah, you gotta
yeah.
consider your opportunity cost. But yeah, so with that, yeah, I feel like with the younger kids, they should see more options. We really got to normalize more options because one of my concerns is people thinking you got to live this millionaire life. You got to do
Oh
this.
my
You got to
god.
be
Oh, don't
entrepreneur.
get me started about IG and
So,
TikTok.
like, there's a lot of kids now thinking they want to be IG and YouTube and social media influencer because they feel like if you truly got a passion for it, cool, pursue that. But if you're just doing that because you feel like you have to live a certain lifestyle, man, that's gonna lead to nothing but headache, man. And one of the best examples I use is Anthony from the jump. Anthony went to voc school for electrician to be an electrician. He when he went to college, he did the community college first 2 years, and now he's an electrician. He graduated. But his thing is, it's like, I don't want all that, man. I just want to be able to comfortably pay the bills, maybe take a vacation, cool, and just chill, just be good. And I really, really
I
admire
get that. Yeah.
I really admired that, man, because that's a good life. You have a good family. You don't gotta worry about bills.
I want to
And
live out somewhere in the country.
yeah,
Yeah.
because yeah, I'm not gonna lie. For a while, my goal was always millions, millions, millions. I gotta be a millionaire. I gotta be a millionaire. And the pursuit of that is exhausting. It's lonely. You fuck up
It's
some
a lot of
friendships.
failures.
I don't see a lot of failures, a lot of embarrassment. Is a lot of trials you got to go through, and it's definitely attainable. But at what cost? You got to realize what do you really want in your life, what you really value most, and price out how much bread you actually need. Because it might surprise you, you don't need as much bread as you think. Like my life is, I want to have a crib in Liberia. I want to have a crib here and a crib in a different state. I want to be able to travel throughout the different seasons to each one. And I did the math and all that. I just need to make, I think it was what, $250,000 a year. Like $250,000 a year is still a good amount of money to be making
It's,
a year, but like
yeah.
compared to me thinking I got to be a millionaire and whatnot to live the lifestyle I want, you realize okay, you don't need that much money, and then okay, I need 250. You break down how to make that, and
Yeah.
it actually becomes more attainable when you look at it.
E- And even with 250, you can get to a millionaire with 250 a year. You
Yes,
can get to a million into 250 a year. Like they tell you money won't solve all your problems, but it will make your problems so much easier.
mess.
And I hate when rich people see that money won't solve all your problems, but
Back,
it'll make my
then,
man.
I had that tech job, bro. I would give anything to feel that peace that I felt at the moment, bro. Matter of fact, because I didn't have money, I didn't feel too much peace because I was scared of losing that money.
Mm-hmm.
But like to just know that, okay, I'm always gonna cover my bills. I never got worried about bills.
Yeah,
Bro, that yeah, having money. Just it's not even like just the things you can do. It's just when you're broke and you're just worried about bills, that's one of the biggest causes of
yeah.
stress in your life. So when you can just eliminate that, you create so much more peace in your life. You're still gonna have problems because it's life, but at least you don't have to worry about this set of problems anymore.
You don't have to worry about your financial problems. Like
Exactly.
financial problems are the stressors of life, or the stressors of relationships, of
Yes.
just anything really. Like of what's it called, interpersonal relationships. So like relationship with a random person is who you hang out is based on is really based on your socioeconomic status a lot of the times.
Right.
Like if you don't even realize it, look at your friends and look at where you guys are at in terms of like we live in a class society. We live in a class society. So it's a huge portion of your problem. And to act like it's not, it's ludicrous to me. It's insane. Like it
Yeah.
is. It will solve so much. Yeah, you're gonna still have your mental problems, but guess what? Now you can afford a therapist. Now you
Right.
can afford a good therapist to go get some help.
Exactly.
Like
And I feel like what's not talked about too, once you get a certain amount of money and you're not used to having money, bro,
you feel like
I
you're not worth it.
that and you're in constant fear of losing. Even the millionaires and billionaires, when you talk to them, their biggest fear is losing their money. Like you get to a certain point, you're in constant fear of losing it. Like, yo, I don't want to get fired. I gotta make sure I do this. I can't lose this. Like,
Yeah,
bro, I had to get a therapist because I had crazy anxiety about the possibility of being fired and having to go back to where I am now, just worrying about paying bills and whatnot.
yeah, yeah. It's definitely hard. It's definitely hard.
Yeah.
Especially man, especially when you want to get a business and everything you gotta get and every oh my god.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You know, buying camera equipment, bro, that joint is not cheap, bro. I got this whole setup and it's just
Bro,
for
that
for a
challenge is
freelancing business, bro. It was a heart attack and a half just deciding on finally getting the everything. Oh my
yeah,
god,
yeah.
bro. Yeah.
But
But I think this is a good place to end it. Yeah.
right, bro.
Yeah.
So what's some things you learned today, my man?
Some things I learned today. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable about the mental issues going on with yourself, whether or not they're receptive to your what's call it to what you have to say. You have to be open and honest about how you feel about school. So, because as parents, they're not, they're literally just learning on the way too. We think our parents know it all and are the smartest people in the world and all this other things, but they're just figuring out as they go too, just like any human being. So being open and honest about them so they can find a way to help you. Even sometimes, even if their initial reaction might not be what you want, their future reaction will be better because now they know where you're coming from and they know where your head's at. It helps them when they can help you. It's two, don't go to college if you don't know what you want to do in life. Honestly, don't go to college if you don't know what you want to do in life. It's a huge time waster. It's a huge money waster, and it's not gonna help you in the long run if you're just along for the ride. It's not. And three, yeah, I was gonna say find your but it's pretty much the same as two, like find your passion, But yeah, once you're passionate about something, it makes school so much easier, and find somebody that can help you understand how hard college will be, because it will be, and it is a jump, but teachers will be understanding. But that's only if you put in the effort and you give the effort needed for them to be understanding. It's like doing something bad and expecting your parent to be okay with it.
Right,
You know, if you're doing what needs to be done and they see that and they see you're trying, they will try to help you out in any way that you can. Because the teachers that try to portray professors as these all encompassing like assholes. It's not true. You're gonna have good teachers. You're gonna have good professors, and you're gonna have bad professors. It's
Right.
gonna happen. But overall, most of them would be understanding. Like they want you to succeed. You're paying all that money. They want you to succeed. It looks good for you, and then honestly, it looks good for them if a certain amount of students pass their class. So
Yes.
if there's something they can do to get you over that hump, they'll do it. But you have to be putting in the work. Yeah,
That's so some things I learned too. Yeah, you gotta have passion, you gotta have a good why. Because without a good why, it's one thing to just have a passion for something. Because I got a passion for business. I love business. I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. But that wasn't a good why to be in school. Because
yeah,
the whole time I was in school for business, I was like, I don't need to be here for this shit. I just need a mentor. But once my passion, my why became to become a therapist to help people and to have more, to be more equipped to help people through the mental struggles. And I know that I can't not legally call myself a licensed therapist without
yeah,
getting this master's degree. That's my why to push through. So find what you're passionate in and follow your interests because it's going to be a journey for you to even find out what you're passionate in. But find things that interest you and pursue it and see where that takes you. I followed many different interests that's just so happened to bring me to hypnosis. It was a wild journey. But if I didn't pursue my interests, take those leap of faith and just see why I'm interested in this in the first place, I would have never got on a road that took me to hypnosis and therapy in general.
yeah,
So follow your interests, no matter how silly you think it is, no matter how random you think it is, it interests you for a reason. Pursue it and see what that reason is. Two, and to piggyback what you said, don't go to college if you don't know what you want to do. And I feel like you don't have to know concrete what you want to do, but you at least should know what your interests are and then pursue that. Yeah, you might change your majors over the time, but you have at least somewhat of an idea. If you're just completely clueless about what you want to do, it's cool to take a year off, try a bunch of different jobs, talk to a lot of people. But if you're lost, because that's just what it is, you're lost. How are you going to find your way by standing still? You have to do the work. You have to go talk to people. You have to try new things. You have to give yourself new experiences to see what interests you in the first place. And then you'll find your way. So that's
yeah,
two. And three, and this is for the parents. I feel like as a parents, you're there to be a guide for the children. They're not your property. They're really just, you're chosen to help them, guide them, and protect them and teach them. You're not there to put your pursuits, your interests, and even really your values into them. Like, it's okay if their values are slightly different than yours, as long as they're a good person. It's okay if their interests are different than yours and different than status quo. But if you see that your kid is interested in something, help them pursue that. Don't just shut it down. Don't be too harsh and close down avenues. If they want to go to a vocational school, they're better at working with their hands. Help them pursue that. It's more than one way to be successful. And you see it a lot. A lot of my clients, the majority of the traumas come from their parents and what their parents pushed on them, what insecurities their parents pushed on them, what insecurities their parents created in them. So find out what your kids are interested in, help them pursue them, and just remember you're a guide for them. You're not there to dictate and control their life.
hmm
Make sure they're not an idiot, though. Make sure they're not fucked up. Definitely make sure they got good values.
Yo, this
As
man.
long as they got good values and
Yeah,
they got some
that's
sense,
facts.
yeah, help them and try to help them find their way, but don't dictate and try to control them.
Yeah,
And I
man.
think that's it, man. Don't create no idiots, man. Don't create no idiots. There's too
Yeah,
many idiots in this world. Don't create no idiots.
yeah. And it's honestly, it's one thing where it's like, if I was a young kid going back to school, oh, preparing to go to school, and I'm looking at my future self, there's so many things I will look back and be like, if I knew, if I knew what I needed to prepare myself with, what I needed to
Oh,
set myself up for success in the future, and
right.
how I can approach college, I would. it will be a different story, you know. So take these life lessons from us as what do you call it, warning signs, and also
Yeah,
like of what you can do better
right.
and how to propel yourself into a better future, you know.
So, as always, drop what lessons you learned from today's episodes. Drop have your parents influenced you to go to college or not. And tell us
Yeah,
your story in the comments, man. We'd love to read it, love to share your stories. Maybe your story may help somebody.
yeah.
So, until then, you can follow me on Speak Life Hypnosis at
Uh,
IG.
yes, yes. Follow me at Visuals VITSULS on IG and No Motive on IG.
And follow the page too.
Oh
If
yeah, yeah, we got a page.
Yeah, follow the page on Instagram if I knew and subscribe, man. We episode 8 or 7. You this
Something.
deep in and you're not subscribing. What you doing, man? You just watching us. Weirdo. Subscribe and support us, man. Don't be a weirdo. You might need some therapy.
Yeah, I know a guy.
All right, man. Y'all have a great one.